Let's see. All right, so that's going live. We've gone live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and then IG is usually the last to go live.
Okay.
So yeah, yes. So we are live. So welcome everybody. Today is Thursday, the 5th of March, 2026. I am your book club host, Dr. Gloria, internal medicine physician, negotiation strategist. For those of us who are joining us for the first time, and for those of us who are veterans, we know why we started this book club. We started this book club with the intention to read consistently. And today, so I'm calling in from the US. I'm joining live from sorry, not from the US. I'm supposed to be in the US, but I'm joining live from Dubai, from the Middle East, in the middle of everything that's going on. And I have an amazing person with me today, Dr. Jada. She's calling in from the US. Jada, do you mind introducing yourself to everyone who's joining us online?
Yes, definitely. I am calling in from the East Coast, Pennsylvania, specifically Pocono area, and I'm a licensed psychologist that primarily does trauma therapy. But oh, is
That
that
is
going
good.
on alerts? Oh no!
We're calling in from Dubai.
Safety. Oh,
Yes. Yes. So let me just read the message that came in from the government of the UAE. They send messages to us all the time. They said, due to current situation, a potential threat, seek immediate shelter in the closest secure building and to steer away from windows, doors, and open areas and wait for further instructions. That just came in now, live.
yeah, that's heavy. I mean, how does that even sit with you receiving that right now?
Huh. Um, it's a mixture of emotions. Um, just being like, so I moved to Dubai. When I moved to Dubai, Dubai was like the safest city, one of the safest cities in the world, safer than any place in the US, safer than Europe. It just had that safety. Uh, and all of a sudden, we were having like normal life. I had friends who were visiting from the US. I had another friend from the UK. We were having lunch, just having a normal Saturday, and then we heard that a bomb went off. There was a missile in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is the capital. It's like an hour, 2 hours from Dubai. So I'm like, yeah, it's far. We knew it was not normal, but it really did not affect how. It was just like, yeah, it's life, and then we went on. And then on my way home, that was maybe it was around, I can't remember the exact time, before 3 p.m., but by 7 p.m. when I was heading home, I had like a thud sound in the car I was in. I was like, oh, what was that? And then heard another one, and I really still didn't know what was going on until I got home. And then they sent us messages like we're having threats from Iran. And so so that was Saturday, and today's Thursday. So in the span of 5, 6 days, we've had more than 1,000 missiles that have been thrown towards the UAE, and about more than 90% of the missiles, drones, they've been intercepted. So what we hear, it's when it's the interception and then the debris. So that's what we hear. And then maybe some of those that kind of escaped. And even though they say it's like headed towards like US bases that's here, some places in that, like the Palm, there were some hotels. I don't know what the details are, but just what I see and what I see in the news and what the government's been informing us of, that I know. So it is scary. And I've talked to most of my friends who are Americans, most of my friends who are Americans, and they're just like, I don't know if I want to go home just yet. And even if we want to go home, there's really no flight except we start to like go towards like the Oman border, or we go towards, and I'm just like, I feel safer here where I'm in an enclosure. I feel safer where I know they are going to send me a message when there's about to be an attack. So I know not to go out. So it's just a mixture of emotions. And personally, for me, it's not my first time experiencing something like this, or maybe the first time experiencing it for a protracted period of time. Because when I was in Boston, there was like a bomb when there was a marathon when I was in grad school in
You were
Boston.
there for the
I was
book.
I was there.
Wow.
I was there in grad school, so that was just like, okay, we didn't know what was happening. People, so there was all of that, and then this, and somehow COVID sort of kind of prepared me for this, because kind of like the shelter in place, do not go out, except when it's essential. So it's a mixture of things I have experienced before, but now it's just different because I'm not home. Although I have started seeing the UAE as home much more. The longer I stay, the more I started seeing it as home to me, but it's still not home. I don't have family here. I have friends, so it's just like a mixture of all of those emotions. And then we're talking, and then I get that alert on my phone, and yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't obviously we're never expecting it, but I was not expecting it. I'm like, what right now? Like,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
um,
So yeah, do you have any questions for me, Jada?
yeah. I mean, what helps you stay anchored? I mean, I know you said you have not necessarily family, but you have some friends. But what's helping you stay anchored in this, especially even like right now to receive messages and during this time since Saturday? Because I can only imagine, at least for me, like nervous. 'Cause I do travel work. It's the nervous system, like feel of safety, and am I going to be okay? And what can I control? What can I not control?
Yeah. It's There's some things I cannot control, right? I cannot control getting on a flight from here to the US. Another question is, I don't want to go through the whole hassle of going traveling. That I can control. I could go to the border, but I do not feel safe doing that. I feel safe being in the UAE. I remember there was a book club we did, when we did start with why, and we're talking about leadership, and someone asked me which leader I trust the most, in just based on my experience. And I told them that I trust the government of the UAE. I've lived through Republicans, Democrats. I've lived through military regime back home in Nigeria, where I'm from. I've lived through different kinds of leaders, but there's none. As much as I can trust any leader, I know no leader is absolutely perfect, but I trust the government here because they truly care about their country. Not like they care about me, Gloria, but they care about their country. They care about their people. They care about their reputation. So that gives me some degree of peace, not
Safety,
complete
yeah.
peace, some degree of peace. However, beyond all of that, I am a Christian. I am a person of faith. So my faith is very important to me. It keeps me anchored. It keeps me going. I know God watches over me. I'm not reckless. I'm not gonna see like a missile coming up and then I'm just gonna like, hey, God's gonna. No, I would use wisdom, but I absolutely know that my faith keeps me going. And I belong to a church here. So when it started, there was like a 24-hour prayer line that was I think it started from Sunday all through till Monday. There was like a 24-hour prayer line. So if you're feeling anxious, you can just join that prayer
Um,
line and then just pray. And then I had like my home cell meeting. We did that virtually yesterday. So I have places where I can run to and then just like get that strength locally. And my siblings, I'm always on the phone with my sisters. Like they're just so today they were talking to me. They're like, "Okay, Gloria, we don't know when it's night or when it's day anymore in Dubai because you're always on the phone talking to us."
uh,
Because when I'm talking to them, I forget everything that's happening around me. I'm just like immersed. Like, okay, so we're just talking and just having fun and just I'm just talking to my sisters. So that keeps me grounded. And I still have friends here. So I have friends here. Then my friend so I mentioned two friends who were visiting from the UK and the US. The
mm,
one visiting from the UK, she got a flight on Tuesday morning and was out. She was supposed to be here from Friday to Sunday, but first thing Tuesday morning by 4 a.m., she got a flight and she went back home. But my friend who's visiting from the US, she's supposed to go to the Maldives, and
oh,
so she Yes, it was supposed to be like a fun week for her. She was supposed to go to the Maldives, but her flight was supposed she was supposed to leave today. So the flight was initially scheduled for maybe 12, and then it was rescheduled for 7 p.m. and then it's been canceled. There's no flight, to the best of my knowledge. There's no flight outside. There's no flight for her until the 7th of this month. So 2 days from now.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's yeah, so that's yeah, so that's the thing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
just yeah, so that's just keeping myself connected to to
Community.
yes, to community. And yeah, that's just that's keeping me going. So when I see, and I think it was just so great that I was talking to you. Fine, I might be live, and but it felt like I was with somebody when this alert went off again. So I didn't feel like I was alone. I didn't feel like, it's more like, okay, something might happen, so I know not to go out. Because one of my friends was reaching out to me and asking me if we could hang out after this live session. So I think that's a no.
That one over, yeah. Like, is this right? A good time right now? Yeah, because you're talking about it, and we're sitting here, and I was just like, and I had to ground in myself. I'm like, I'm not there, but obviously, I want to be here, present for you while
Yes,
you're experiencing
yes,
this.
yeah. So it's a no. I'm not going anywhere. So if you're listening online, if you're live and you have any questions, you can type those questions in. I see. I'm not sure those were there, but I see Carlos. I see Asme. I see Nozat. I see. I see Rashid. I see Ahizele. I see Dr. Bills. That's on Instagram. I can't see those who are on. I know I have some people on LinkedIn, YouTube, but I can't see all of those people. Yeah. But if you have any questions, you can ask me, and I will answer you based on the knowledge that I have, the best of my ability. I'll tell you what it feels like, and just being in crossroads where you have missiles just flying and intercepted. You have drones. It just sounds like, yeah, it sounds like a movie, but
It does. Well, even question, I don't know if anybody else is thinking, but like the media consumption, because like for me, I do a lot of therapy, so I'm kind of in this space for most of the day, and I'll
yeah,
come out, maybe I'll capture some information of what's going on, but I need it in bits and pieces because it gets overwhelming. It's heavy. So you're in the middle of it and receiving, not just what's on media, but on your phone. And it's how do
yeah.
you manage your boundaries around
So that's a good one. That's something that I think I need to work on consciously, because when I'm talking to my friends, talking to my sisters, just trying to connect with community, I don't feel that pressure. But sometimes I'm like, okay, I need to know what's going on. I haven't received any message from the government, so I'm like, what's going on? Well, maybe what I should know is that if I haven't received any message, it means there's really nothing going on as such. But I just want to know what's going on in the US, what's Congress saying, what's Trump saying, what's Marco Rubio saying, so I have an idea of what's going to happen. And I'm like, okay, so what's happening in Iran? So do they have a new leader? Because once it's technically, the UAE is just cut in the middle of the war. We're
it?
not, we're not really like the UAE. They're not aggressor. Like this country's been here for years. They've never had anything like this before. So I would go look for information just to give me an idea. And then sometimes I get really like into it, like I'm digging and digging. Like I dig, I find something and I'm digging and digging. And so I think I'm gonna just like say, you know what, maybe 30 minutes a day. See, you just give me 3 therapy sessions, Jada. Maybe 30. So
Hilarious.
maybe 30 minutes a day I will go online and just like find out what's going on, so I'm not ignorant. I don't want to be ignorant of what's going on, and then just let it be like 30 minutes, that's it. Sneha, I see you. So I think that's what I'll do, like just have time that I do it, maybe middle of the day. Anything else, I'll wait till the next day. If it's urgent, they would let me know on my phone.
Yeah, and it actually ties perfectly in with the book. And, maybe it's a habit that is
It
not as healthy. So now you can work on, like you said,
is
30 minutes, and it's a little bit more healthy for you.
that is so true. It's yeah, that's a habit. So maybe what I need to do is all the because talking about the habits, we need to have systems in place to help us. All right, no, let's start with the first part. Like, I would describe myself, I'm not the person who gets bogged down on news wanting to know everything. I just want to know what's essential for me to make decisions. Maybe that would start with the identity, rather than I being the person who wants to know everything. No, I just want to know what's essential for me to make the best decision that I need to make for myself, and also that might influence affect my family. So I think that's it. I think that's a good one.
As you're talking, I'm like, this is such a perfect tie into the book because it is.
Yeah,
This is a great habit to that's automatic. It really is automatic that you're doing.
correct.
And now you're like, you know what? Let me pull this back a little bit and just have one time of the day you're going to start doing it, or at least
Yes,
practice. Yeah.
yes. Yeah, and then that way it's more like, okay, since I know I have 30 minutes, I'm just gonna go be more deliberate and specific, looking for information, not just like looking for trying to know too many things that would just weigh me down and make me feel hopeless. But if I oh, someone just asked a question. Meme. She said, how did I feel when I realized most foreigners were actually leaving? So I have some friends who are Brits. So theirs was different. They got this message from their government that we're going to find flights for you guys. I don't know how true that is or not.
That's awesome. You know, that's awesome. It gave you goosebumps because it's like we care and we want to make sure you're safe. I like it.
Yeah. I'm still very proud to be an American. America is one of the greatest countries in the world. Anytime, any day, I will rep that flag, rep my passport anytime, any day. However, some people are leaving, but when I call most of my friends who are Americans, and then not all, even some people will not. They're like, I feel safer. They say I feel safer being here than going home, because we know what's going to happen. Some say, oh, if I go to London, on the streets of London, I don't feel safe if I'm here. Everyone's different. And I have someone who, as soon as she heard the news, she was very devastated. She just packed her bags and she was like, I'm waiting for the next flight, and I haven't heard from her, so I think she's gone home.
Oh, I
she's
hope she
she's
has
she's
a safe
she's
flight.
British, yes.
Yeah.
And yes, so some people leaving, some people staying. It's the things I cannot control, right? Whoever wants to leave, I'm happy. Whoever wants to stay, we're here together. So there's no like, I've never really been one to compare myself with anybody, because I don't want to go to the border to leave. The process of leaving feels much more unsafe than being here. So if the US government had said, oh, all Americans, we're going to evacuate you guys, then I would strongly, I'm not sure if I would, but I would strongly consider leaving. But they didn't say that. I don't want to. They say, if it's safe for you, and I'm thinking, I've seen the busting the bomb during the marathon, but I've never been in a war zone, so I cannot tell when it's safe for me to leave. So I'll just be here. I'd rather be calm and But one thing I've noticed, Jada, is that there's no chaos all over the city. You don't see people just running around crazy, scared.
Which is good because all of that would create more chaos, you know?
Yes, yes, yes. From I haven't seen that. And then there's someone who's saying hello from Pakistan, James Habib. Hi, James. I think he's from YouTube. Yeah, so so maybe that was my feeling, like, hey, if you want to go and you're safe, you can leave here safely, then I'm happy for you. But I'm not going to jeopardize my safety because another person had their, it's like someone's dad comes to pick them up from school, and then I'm like, oh, I'm just going to jump on the street. No, their dad came for them. I'll wait for my dad.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. Your discernment, you're trusting your intuition. You're like, this is where I feel, grounded and sheltered place where it feels safe for me.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. If you guys have any other questions, you can ask. Um, yeah. So, do you want us to dive into the book? Let's just do like 10 minutes of the book and what we're trying to. You want us to do that?
Yes. Unless the audience wants to go in more of your conversation because it's real.
Yes.
No, it's real, it's
Yeah.
raw. So I love that. It's like live in action in the
It
sense of
is.
like really tapping into what everyone is kind of sensing and feeling and know that you're not alone feeling that way.
Yeah. Oh, someone said yes. Their dad came for them. Yes. Yep.
Yes, they did. You
Look,
can't
my
say, come on, we'll get your flights. Dad's going to come pick you up. Oh, that's so
uh,
funny.
but yeah, you can whatever. Once we see the comments, then just I would respond to it, and then Nuzat asks, so okay, she's curious. She's asking about the book now. She's like, look, we're done with you and your work, Gloria. Let's go to the habits. We're not into this, you know. She said, so what habits can really replace talent in competitive industries?
Can you explain further? Or a little bit more? I'm a person, I need to break it down. So can you give me like an example?
Yes. So what I think that person is saying is it's more like talent is never really enough, right? So let's say we all are very talented. So what sets you apart in a very competitive industry? Um,
I
do
think
you
it'll
want to?
tie to the book when it's like the industry, when they talk about what identity, like what person do you want to be in
Yeah,
that industry, and then what goals or what systems will get you there. Like what is the
correct.
identity of who you want to be, and then what does that person do to be that person? What are the different things that get you there? That's what I would
Yes.
ask.
Yes, I agree with you. So it's more like, so sometimes just going by what the book said, I think I'm going to implement that. So rather than saying, for me, there are two major habits I really want to hack. No, maybe there were three. I've already started with one. I started journaling this year. There was one of the books we read, and then that just kind of pushed me into journaling. So I've been doing that all of this year. So I want to learn French and Arabic, just putting a few minutes every day consistently. That's something I've been working at, but I haven't really been. But what I'm seeing myself more is, oh, I see myself as that person who I speak French and Arabic. So hey Gracie, I see you. So good to see you. So I see myself as I speak French, I speak Arabic, and I speak English. So I'm multilingual. So I want to see myself as that person. And something else I want to see myself as is someone who is I'm a doctor, so I should be health conscious, but I just want to do it more. I am that person who is very health conscious. I am very mindful of what I eat. I'm very mindful when I exercise. So that's just, yeah, that those are two things. Like I speak three languages, I am very health conscious, I exercise and I eat right.
Yes. And same for the person that asked the question. I think part of it might get answered later because later in the book he speaks about talent alone isn't enough. So it's like you mix it with something else to make yourself stand out. I can't remember the exact
Correct.
details, but we'll go get to it later.
We'll
So
get
that
to it.
answers the question later as well.
Yes.
Adding that piece in on top of like who is this person, this identity that you want to be, and then how to get there. What are the steps to get to that person?
Yes, yes. Yeah, just once you have that, and it's much more than saying I'm the best at this, right? So it's more like I am this person. What does the best do? What does it mean to be the best? Then you embody that person. And there was something he said about like not really setting goals, like having goals but not really being bored. And when he said that, I kind of agreed with him, because I remember when I wanted to do run a 10K, I took on a different mindset. I prepared for 10K, and then after that I went back to being myself, rather than some so because I worked towards a goal. So rather than working towards a goal, I did not work towards becoming that person who is health conscious. So just changing that mindset to being health conscious, then if I run a 10K, if I run a half marathon, then that's just kind of like the icing on the cake. But who I have become is much more important, because that's long term. So it's looking at who that person is, and then becoming that person who can achieve that goal, then become that person. That's one way.
Yeah. I was saying, speaking like you said, the marathon, the goal is I want to run a marathon. The system, what gets you there is I will run 10 minutes every morning. And then you build
Yes,
on that system that will get you to that final outcome.
correct. Um, So, well, if hey Lily, I just saw that you joined. If you have any questions, any comments, if you have any Any questions about what's going on in Dubai, how I feel? I'm very willing to share my experience here with you. This is life. Look, this is life from Dubai. It doesn't get better
Right? I mean, if you have want to sell and come move here, like,
yeah, this is like, let me look for, let's see one of the other questions that we are reflective topics. Let's see.
I would
So
say,
one.
even just speaking to the action or speaking to these systems, the idea is that, we repeat these small actions, these systems. It helps to
Mhm.
build that self trust so that you trust yourself to then take the next step and keep building on that. You keep showing up again and again. I think part of that, at least on my end, because I'm always about self trust and like self compassion. So when I thought about this part of the discussion, I'm just like, have your systems and it builds the trust that you're doing. I say I'm going to do it and you do it because it's so specific. I'm going to do 10 minutes of running every morning after I have breakfast or whatever. And then you build that system, but you're also trusting yourself because I say I'm going to do it and I do it. But it's
Yeah.
also the other part I was going to go in deeper is this kindness. Like, are you wanting this goal because are you talking to yourself negatively? Like, I want to be healthier because I'm lazy and I don't do anything. Like, that's not going to help you reach the goal, the negative. Have compassion. Like, make the goal something that you see that is for you. It's not you beating yourself up. Like, I want to become this person because this is who I am at my core and I want to get to this goal versus the negative. So I was just thinking about those two things as well.
You see, that's very important. This evening, I was maybe around 4. It's 8 p.m. So around 4 5 p.m. I was talking to a friend on the phone, and he was asking me. We're talking about food, and I was just like, oh, like he was like, oh, are you? He said I was because I was cooking. He was like, oh, are you about to eat? I was like, oh yeah. He was like, I said yeah, it's early dinner. He was like, okay, I've never heard of early dinner before by 4 p.m. And then then I go like, yeah, I eat. I was like, yeah, I'm like, yeah. He said, oh, I said I eat when I'm hungry. And then he said, oh, really? That's so impressive. And I was like, look, I'm always hungry.
Same. I'm saying like,
You know, you know what? Then I cut myself, right? Because the person who I am, is not always hungry.
true.
So yeah, that I was just like, okay, I cut myself. No, the person I'm trying to become is not always hungry. If I'm healthy, I'm not just an animal just ruminating, just grazing. No, I'm not. So I eat when I need to. So that just I cut myself. I said, you see, I say stuff about myself. Uh Someone's laughing at me. It's just like,
What is it was that how it's easy. I didn't even catch that part. Like, I'm always hungry.
yes.
It's just the
Yeah.
simple terminology that
I
makes
said
sense.
that a lot about myself. Like, oh, I eat a lot.
Yeah.
And the person I used to be, yeah, I eat a lot. My sisters, they just go like, you ate that, and then you're eating again, and then my little niece is eating. I'm like, hey, Olivia, can I have a little bite here? Emily, can I'm just like eating. I love food, but now I am reframing who I am, and I'm hopeful that that reframe would last forever. And Haji had a question. He said, how can habit building improve persuasion and communication skills? That is so good. That is so good. So how can habit building
Joy.
improve? Yes, improve persuasion and communication skills. So those two skills are great skills to have as a person. But before you have those skills, the first thing is the intent. So the if your intent isn't right, then it becomes, like manipulation. Then, however, if your intent is right, then those two skills will take you, it will make people who live around you would live a better life, because you can communicate clearly, you can persuade them in the right direction. And then we're looking at the habits. So the first thing is to see yourself, just like we're talking about now prior to this, like, who are you? You embody who you want to become. So the first thing is to see yourself as an excellent communicator. Like you say, this is who I am. Take on that. Then the next question you have to do is do an analysis of yourself and say, so if I want to become this person, what skill sets do I need to have? And then that's where the habit building comes in. You begin to build the habits of that person that you are becoming. So if you need to read books on communication, if you need to practice, if you want to, you can reach out to me. If you want to be on my book club, we can discuss. So you would learn how to speak spontaneously, because Jada and I, we just talked about this, and then we're meeting here, we're talking spontaneously. So you can practice. You can practice. So that's how habits would building the habits. You can see, I want to read one book on communication every month, and you can do that. And then I want to go online and speak spontaneously, where it's not memorized. You just speak from your heart. You speak from your heart, and then you try as much as you can to articulate your thoughts clearly. And even if it's not perfect, it's a habit. You don't look at There's something he said in the book where you don't look at the things you got wrong, just you also look at the things you got right. So I hope, Haju, I hope that answered your question. But I think that's a really, really good one, because the ability to speak clearly, just to communicate and persuade people, that's a great skill to have, and it takes a lot of work to be very, very skilled at it. Hey Fari, I see you. Yeah. And if you have any questions, keep them coming. We have about 9 more minutes, so we leave by 40 minutes past the hour. I don't know if that's Dyer that I see who just joined, but okay. So let me read one of the let's see, reflection. I think we've kind of talked about the habit. So I talked about my habits. See, I was very vulnerable. Dyer, yes, Dyer, I see you. See, Jada, I was very vulnerable. I think now it's your turn.
Yes. No, I was thinking about similar habits. You gave me actually a good one to add, but mine was thinking health conscious as well. Working out is easy for me. Even with the book, how he says stack habits. My workout used to be morning a while ago, but now because I do trauma work and things are just heavy therapy wise during the day, my workout is always in the evening. So I've stacked it, not intentionally, but when I read the book, I was like, oh, that's what I did. It's like once I put the kids down and go to sleep, that's my cue, go downstairs and do my workout. So faithfully on that. But I was just thinking in regards to talking about this, like, what is a habit that I want to grow towards? And there are a couple. One is health conscious, like just eating better. Because of the work I do and I have small breaks in between, I will go out and not necessarily snack all day, but if I wait long enough, I'm starving. When you're starving, you don't make good decisions. I'll just take
Right.
whatever's there and I'll just eat it. So I thought maybe I'll just be more intentional each day to like make a smoothie or something that I can grab quickly, but it's healthy. Protein, fruits, and vegetables was my idea of something I want to do and have that be more intentional day to day. And then when you brought up a language, I told you because you're in Dubai that we're looking to move internationally as well. So all the places we're looking to move are Spanish speaking countries. And I took Spanish in high school. I had 4 years, but it's rusty. So I'm like, you know what? As you say that, I do want to like pick up and start learning Spanish again, like really
Yeah.
getting into that. So when you said it, I was like, that's another one. And then my last one was just more so, I don't even know how this could be a habit, honestly, is because we want to move. It's like, how do I get in the habit of, I don't know, downsizing, getting ourselves ready to get rid of things and prepping for that. So I was trying to think, how does this work in a habit way? But it will take time to leave. Like I have a family moving, I'm not moving by myself. So I'm like, what habits
Yeah.
can I set in place to be somebody who's ready to move, like somebody who is ready to go?
So maybe consider yourself being a minimalist.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And maybe, yeah, if you consider yourself as minimalist, then it's so easy to, like, you know what, I'm taking all of this to Salvation Army. We don't need, that way it would help you start to downsize before you actually need to move. I'm not a minimalist. I like things. I'm very vain. I'm materialistic. I
Yeah.
like I like it
I
anyway.
didn't
Yeah,
even want to settle, but the idea of like taking everything and then going international waters, I'm like, that is a lot. Is it possible? Sure, but my thought is like, take whatever is minimal for now, and then I can
yeah,
build from there. Is my thought. But yeah, that's a
yeah.
great idea.
Yeah. So like when I moved, because I had to downsize big time from like a huge home to a smaller space. But I have family, so I don't know if I think I told my sister I was gonna give her one of my sisters. I think some of my sisters I gave. They think I gave it to them, but it's actually a loan.
They're gonna
So,
like hold it for you.
so when
That is my
we,
couch back, by the way.
I have my TV back,
Yeah,
and I have my, yeah,
that is hilarious.
yeah. But yeah, okay. So let's see if there's anything else. For those who just joined, like if you have any questions about how I feel, I was telling them because I see some of the people who are online are from Dubai. Not everyone who's going to listen to the replay or everyone who's online is from Dubai. So anyone who wants to know how I feel, my experience with the whole fiasco happening in the Middle East, you can ask me. We will be done in about 4 minutes. Um, yeah. And we would have another person join us next Tuesday, hopefully, if things improve. And if things, so I truly hope to be here next Tuesday because I've been very consistent. I've been here every Thursday since December. Um, I am that person
With
who
you are
shows up.
too.
Yeah, so I'm praying I'll be here next Thursday to talk about the next phase of the book and also to tell you my, my experience, yeah, just to if things have changed, if it's now business as usual. Although I went to the mall like a few days ago and it wasn't crowded like it normally is, but my friends and I went there. I think that was Monday night because the other girl left on Tuesday morning. So yeah, but hopefully we would be back to normal life. I'm hoping and praying. Or if I'm back in the US, then I will be reflecting from the US. Or if I'm in South Africa or in Nigeria or in the UK, if I choose to go somewhere else, then I would be hopefully reporting from there.
Yeah, well, I
But
do want to say because you brought it up that you have been consistent. You built this habit. The space is a habit you built. So I was going to ask if you want to speak on like were you embodying a reader or what is your becoming who you're becoming and having this every week, for the
yeah,
12 of
so,
us.
so this is part of my becoming. Like I saw, because I really wanted to. I used to be a reader, but just life happening, just going through formal education, going through grad school, med school, and I had so many readings to do. So just reading for growth wasn't really there as much as I would like it. And then I would see all these great books and I would buy them and then keep them and not read. So I felt like the best way to do it was for me to sometimes when you lead, then you have to lead by example. So I'm like, okay, the best way to do this is to get a book club. So as I'm doing it, I'm carrying people along with me as much as I can. And so I started the book club. And I know if I say I'm going to show up, I am that person who will show up. That I know about myself. If I say I'm going to show up, I will show up. So that way, then I created a system such that even if I have so many things I'm doing, then I have days that I just cut out that, okay, I'm going to read this day. Because now I have more control over my time than I used to have. So now I read more. Now I am that person who reads and I show up and talk about what I read. So, and it's not, and the reading I wanted to do was not just, oh, I've read this book and it's great. And no, I would like, if we go, anyone who goes back to watch any of the reflections, they would see how much we applied them. Even the last one we did was 10x is better than 2x. I restructured my business based on
So
that book. Yes.
beautiful.
I hired more people after reading that book. Like I restructured my business. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I knew, okay, if I want to grow 10x, then I need people to help me grow 10x. And I have like phenomenal people working for me now. So we'll see how that goes.
I can't wait to hear about it. But I like this because I was like, this habit one, I was like, you guys are giving me accountability to stick to habits that I'm going to start. And I can't wait to just talk more about them as we go through the next couple of weeks.
Yes, yes. I think a winner who will be here, mashallah. See, now I'm doing my Arabic, mashallah. I hope that's even the right one, but I'll say it. Mashallah, she's gonna be here. She's gonna be here next Thursday. So it would be three of us. I can't wait for that to happen. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on on Instagram, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us. And then Jada, I really appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for having me, and thank you everyone for tuning in. This was an awesome discussion today.
Yes, I will see you guys next Thursday, inshallah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. All right. All right. I'll
Bye
end the
for
stream
now.
now.